Okay, so back to New York City, where I lived for 17 years.
Yes.
You live now.
I live now, yeah.
There's a lunatic running for mayor, and I saw that he got your attention. So he's one of these Democrat socialist types. He wasn't born in America. Here are some fun facts about him. This is not exactly a New York City story. It's a leftist insanity story. Here are some facts about him. His name is Zoran Kwame Mamdani. He's a New York State Assembly member. He's running for mayor. He wants to freeze the rent, make buses fast and free, and deliver free universal health care or childcare. It's free.
Yeah.
Trust me, you won't have to pay a dime. He was born and raised in Uganda. He moved to New York City age 7. He graduated from the New York City public school systems, attended the Bronx High School of Science. He became a naturalized American citizen in 2018. He represents the 36th district in this New York State Assembly, which is an immigrant-heavy slice of Queens, and he wants to be mayor. Well, they just had their first televised debate in New York, and he had a lot of fun things to say, including, hold on a second. Yeah, what is it, 46? I lost my soundbite sheet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do that. 46. Take a listen to him.
I am Donald Trump's worst nightmare as a progressive Muslim immigrant who actually fights for the things that I believe in. And the difference between myself and Andrew Cuomo is that my campaign is not funded by the very billionaires who put Donald Trump in D.C.
Donald Trump would go through Mr. Mamdani like a hot knife through butter. He's been in government 27 minutes. He passed 3 bills. That's all he's done. He has no experience with Washington, no experience in New York City. He would be Trump's delight.
Okay.
Trump's delight.
What do we think of him?
Well, people have been screaming at me for days now because they're like, why are you so negatively obsessed with this guy? Is someone paying you to insult him? And I'm like, I live in New York. I have a kid. He's running for mayor.
Yeah.
He probably won't win.
I'll insult him for free.
But come on. And that clip, Dasha shared it on Twitter a couple of days ago when we were coming home from some event. And it really put me in a bad mood. That kind of like media trained decision to turn to the camera and brag about being a progressive Muslim immigrant in that voice that's like a mixture of vindictive righteousness and nervousness. It really got me going.
Mining for like a little moment, a little viral moment. And I'm so insulted really by his policies that they're really like, they're so flagrantly empty rhetoric, like lip service to progressivism.
Yeah, they're like low-hanging fruit for the dumbest voters.
Which that sounds so good, but it really only applies to already rent-stabilized apartments that already can only be raised a certain percent. And rent freeze would be great, but it's not the most important issue in New York. Free buses.
Anybody who's working will have to pay.
Yeah, I mean, I can sound off on the free buses because this is a boutique issue that's like very low on the political wish list of most people in New York City. And we have bigger problems in New York City, such as given how high the cost of living is in New York City, we have a real rampant vagrancy problem. There are like homeless people being menacing, threatening on every block.
Not to mention relieving themselves in all ways in the middle of the sidewalk.
Yeah, I live downtown. The playground next door to me is completely taken over by homeless crackheads. And, I said this on Twitter, but this is like a homelessness incubator to promote a policy of free buses. And the bigger issue with that is that these policies are basically designed for people who already live subsidized or free in New York City. They are for the poor and who will be picking up the tab for this.
He's like a Brandon Johnson. He's like a Chicago mayor for New York. He wants to do to us what's happened there. Here's another piece from him. It's a campaign ad in SOT 48.
I'm Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani, and I'm running for mayor to freeze the rent for every rent-stabilized tenant.
Wait, you're gonna freeze my rent?
Yes.
Did I hear rent freeze?
Yes! This guy's gonna freeze the rent.
No hike?
None.
This guy's gonna freeze the rent.
It's true. As your next mayor, I will freeze your rent.
Paid for by Zoran for NYC.
I mean, I never thought I'd say this, but I'll take Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, or Eric Adams. I'll take anybody
Please,
over
Eric
this
Adams.
guy.
Yes, Eric Adams. I'm only joking, by the way. Don't vote for Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah.
Vote for Eric Adams. He's the best option there is.
Well, he's
But
running
this
as
guy,
an independent.
I don't even care if he's a graphic criminal.
I don't either. I don't
This
care.
guy's. I'm so shocked.
Cuomo's a criminal, and I mean, I believe because of what he did to the nursing homes, and you've got Eric Adams, who at least is starting to see the light and has at least a background as a cop, and then you've got this lunatic. Like this guy frees the rent. Like you say, like what portion of New Yorkers have rent subsidization? Like most people are paying through the nose.
I do.
You do?
I do, and I'm.
So why don't you?
Rent stabilization is a lot of what New Yorkers actually have.
Yeah.
My God, I never had that, even on in my lowest earning days. And
you might have not known your rights.
Yeah.
Technically, if you live in a building that's more than 6 units that was built before 1970 or something, they can't raise your rent more than 2% on a year lease, 5% on a 2-year lease.
I did not have that. When I first moved to New York, I moved downtown. This is 1997. Okay, I was a very young lawyer, and I moved to New York, and this is. I used to go hang out in the World Trade Center and get my coffee and read the paper over there. That's how long ago this was. And I was right next to Trinity Church, which is where Alexander Hamilton is buried. And it was down in the financial district, which now has had some more development, but at the time was absolutely barren, just complete concrete jungle. I'll never forget moving in there because it was so stark and not warm, just cold, white concrete everywhere. And I was 26, and I had one of those moments that you have in life where my phone wasn't on, my electricity wasn't on, nothing worked yet. Like everybody had been supposed to, they were supposed to have arrived that day to turn it all on, and they didn't. So it was dark. I had my boxes, and I had concrete jungle around me. And I walked to a hotel, the Millennium Hotel down there. I'm trying to remember now. And I called my mom on a payphone, okay? Like cell phones just started around 95.
Yeah.
And I called my mom crying. Like I felt so scared and alone and like, what have I done? I don't know if this is a good idea. And my mom was so great. She said, you need to get some family pictures up. You need to, tomorrow, first thing, figure out where your grocery store is, figure out where your dry cleaner is.
Smart.
Like take a walk around the block, familiarize yourself with your new neighborhood, take a deep breath, and welcome to adulthood.
Yeah.
It was great. It was like, so anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you this story, but that was my life in downtown New York, and it definitely was not rent subsidized. And sadly, after the World Trade Center went down on 9/11, one of the plane's engines was found on top of my old building. That's how close it was. Thank God I had left. I had left in 2000. Right before. So it's like by divine right order, I wasn't down there at the time. Were you guys living in New York back then? You were young.
No.
You were children.
We were, I was in high school and Dasha was probably in elementary school.
Yeah. These are the moments.
She was in kindergarten.
Very long in the tooth.
No, but that, like the 9/11 thing too, it's just crazy that, New York City experienced 9/11, and now we have this DSA candidate who's like panning to the camera and saying, I'm a progressive Muslim immigrant. His whole provenance is very sketchy. He's launched this like ostensibly grassroots campaign with his funding that he gets as a secret intelligence asset, I'm sure. His parents, he only became a citizen, as you mentioned, in 2018. Didn't seem to care much about citizenship up until then. His parents are like these kind of global citizen types. His mother is it's a female filmmaker, Friday. She's a famous filmmaker. His father is a academic who has like cushy sinecures at Columbia and the University of Uganda.
Naturally.
His specialty is Africana studies and colonialism.
Of course it is.
I think, their attitude, as my friend Ina Stepman pointed out was that
I love her.
Citizenship is kind of a minor administrative matter, a trifle. And that's kind of the attitude that he held until recently, as she says, up until the point that he decided he wanted a position of power in the United States.
Does he have a chance? I've been following the polls closely.
Well, he has a chance because I've hated on him so much that the leftists are going to come out in droves. So if he wins, my bad.
No, he's polling.
AOC endorsed him.
Yes.
That's scary. It's reason enough to vote against him.
Well, he's like AOC deja vu. I mean, it takes me back to 2018 when we got in trouble because we were critical of AOC like campaign ad where she's switching from sneakers to heels on the subway and bragging about being like a barista or a bartender or whatever. And you could tell that it's like totally fake, astroturfed. I really can't believe that anybody is falling for DSA candidates in 2025.
I know, neither can I.
It's so ridiculous.
Especially after, like, the day after 10/7, they were in the middle of Times Square chanting, "It's all Israel's fault." Like, okay, this is kind of the end, I think.
They were
It should
outside
be.
my apartment because I live by the Egyptian embassy. They were writing piss reel on the sidewalk.
Wow.
October 8th.
This administration is working very hard to try and fix this country. But while they're focused on fixing the country, they can't fix your personal finances. That's really up to you. And that's why thousands of Americans are turning to Birch Gold. In the past 12 months, the value of gold has risen by 30%. Think about that. How's your stock market investment doing? Has it gone up 30%? Have you made 30% on your money? And demand is strong and it's growing. While reports are that the BRICS nations are actively working to challenge the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. That's not great. In other uncertain times, gold has offered peace of mind. And in these uncertain times, it does the same. Birch Gold makes it incredibly easy to convert your existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA backed by physical gold. Or if you prefer, you can buy gold to store in your own home safe. Just text MK to the number 989898, and Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, only useful information. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, take control of protecting your savings today. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.